So exercise 1 is observing self by self, observing consciousness by the consciousness. So exercise 1 is helping us to be aware every moment, to be aware what is going on in me. That awareness is required every moment. So the purpose of exercise 1 is to live a fulfilling life. So I want to live a fulfilling life. That's why I am trying to be aware every moment. So exercise 1 with 7 steps help us to be aware. So step 1 is be aware, observe your imagination at this moment. So we are starting with at this moment. With practice, we will continue it every moment. So when we are observing, the important point is observing with no awareness or no reaction. So I am aware in myself and I am observing myself and I am observing with no reaction. So I am observing my expectation, thought, desire, feelings, sanskar, whatever I can observe. So awareness is required. Where is my focus? Where is my attention this time? So step 1 is very important step. It needs a lot of efforts because our practice is to focus outside. And in exercise 1, we are practicing to focus inside. So many times our focus shift from inside to outside due to our past practice. If it is happening, then I need to remind myself that I will focus in me. So we don't need to bring our focus back forcefully. Just remind yourself, it will come naturally. But first step is be aware. If my focus is outside, be aware. My focus is inside, be aware. My focus is at body, be aware. With awareness, we can start observation. And while observing, no reaction is required. So the moment when I am observing myself, then I can evaluate my state of being. Is the feeling that I have at this moment naturally acceptable to me? Am I in harmony, happy with the feeling that I have at this moment? So this is I am evaluating. So evaluating means I am not trying to run away from my state of being. I am not trying to continue my state of being. Just evaluating it. So for simple example, if I have feeling of relationship, so I am not forcing myself to continue it. If I have feeling of opposition, I am not forcing myself to avoid this state. I am just evaluating it, whether it is naturally acceptable to me or not. Am I in harmony, happy with the feeling or not? With this evaluation, I am observing who decides this feeling that I have at this moment. Did I decide or someone else outside decide it. Because I want to be happy every moment. And if I am not happy at this moment, then who has decided it? Once I am clear that I have decided it, then it becomes my need to understand on what basis I am deciding this feeling. So now in step 5, I am trying to see basis of this decision. Did I decide it on the basis of understanding or on the basis of an assumption? Right. So I am asking myself which feelings are naturally acceptable to me. Feeling of relationship, opposition, harmony or disharmony, coexistence or struggle. And we are exploring within to understand relationship, harmony and coexistence in its completeness in the context of whole nature. Right. So in step 6, I am asking myself, feeling of relationship is naturally acceptable me or opposition, harmony or disharmony. So once I am clear that feeling of relationship is naturally acceptable to me, harmony is naturally acceptable to me, coexistence is naturally acceptable to me, then I'm trying to explore within to understand relationship, harmony and coexistence. So it understanding relationship, harmony and coexistence is my need at the level of consciousness. Right. So because it is my need, that's why I will understand relationship, harmony and coexistence. Then in step 7, I ensure that the feeling that I have at this moment is in line with the feeling of relationship, harmony and coexistence. So on this basis, I will be in a state of harmony and happiness at this moment. And when I am able to understand relationship, harmony and coexistence in its completeness, then I decide my feeling, thought accordingly in natural manner. And it will always be comfortable within. I will be in a state of harmony and happiness in continuity. Now I am ensuring this feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence every moment. So if I am ensuring it every moment, I will be able to live a fulfilling life every moment. If I am ensuring it at this moment only, I will be living fulfilling life at this moment. So when I ensure this feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence in its completeness, at that moment, I will be living in harmony. And no one can restrict me ensuring the feeling of relationship, harmony, and coexistence. So it is my decision. It is up to me. Right? Anyone can restrict my behavior, anyone can restrict my language, anyone can restrict my physical movement, but no one can restrict my state of being because it is my decision. So I am free at the level of consciousness. So this I need to be aware in myself that at the level of consciousness, I am taking decision. And it is purely my decision. What feelings will I have at the level of consciousness, at the level of self. With this, we are practicing exercise 2. In exercise 2, now I am observing body and observing interaction between me and the body and the world outside. So exercise 2 is observing self, body and interaction between them in space. And who is observing? Me, because I am seer, I am doer, I am experiencer. So I am observing this interaction in space. So in exercise 1, I can see I exist because I can see my all activities directly. Now I can also see body, activities of body. So whenever I pay attention to any part, I can see some sensations, some activities. So I can see activities directly. That's why I can say that body also exists. So I exist as a consciousness unit. Body also exists as a material unit. And I have accepted coexistence with the body. So I have accepted coexistence with the body. That's why I am interacting with the body as and when required. So I transact information with body. So there are many sensations are taking place in the body, but I decide when to interact it, when to read the sensation. Decide. So I transact information with the body. The sensation is in the form of information, and I am instructing the body. It is also an information. So there is an exchange of information between me and the body. So in step 2, I am able to see that no physical transaction is being taking place between me and the body. It is only information. Then in step 3, I see that I am the one who decides what instructions are to be passed to the body and what sensations are to be read from the body. So many sensations are taking place in the body. If I decide to read sensation of hands, I read sensation. If I decide to read sensation of leg, I read that sensation. So it is my decision when to read sensation. And it is my decision when to give instructions to the body. So when I think that I need to express myself, I use my body. When I think that I need to express my feelings to others, I use my body. I give instruction to the body. If I don't want to express outside, I don't use body. I instruct body with minimum functions. But it is my choice. It is my decision when to interact with body, when to pass information to the body, when to read sensation of the body. And while reading the sensation, I can see that I am not the sensation. I can read the sensation that is taking place in any part of body from where I am, being different from the sensation. So there is a difference between separation between self and body. So I can read sensation of the body and I can see that I am not the sensation. I am not in the sensation. I exist, body exists. I have accepted coexistence with the body, but I am not the body. I am not the sensation. That's why I have choice to read sensation of any part of the body. I may ignore sensations of the body. I may decide to read sensation of the body because I am at separation from the body. Now my interaction with the body or the world outside is by way of sensation. So I read the sensation by decision, give meaning to the sensation. So I decide to read sensation, and when I read sensation, I read it with my sanskar. I give meaning to sensation with my sanskar. And on the basis of my sanskar, I may react, I may respond. So sensations are taking place in the body, but it is my sanskar, how I interpret it. If my interpretation is based on assumption, I may react. If my interpretation is based on knowing, I will respond. I will respond to sensation of the body. I will respond to world outside. So my sanskar play very important roles while interacting with body or the world outside. So if my sanskar is based on assumption, I tend to react. I decide my feeling. It may be right or wrong if my sanskar are based on assumption. I become happy or may unhappy based on external input. So if my sanskar are based on assumption, I try to live a fulfilling life using sensation or the world outside. So if I am trying to live a fulfilling life by using body or world outside, I become trapped into rag and dvesh. So if some sensations are pleasant for me, I try to continue it. I become attached to those sensations. If I am trying to be happy with the use of body sensation, so I try to avoid those sensations that I dislike, and I invest lot of energy to avoid that sensation, and it creates a reaction in me. So if I try to continue some pleasant situations, sensations, it creates reaction in me. If I try to avoid any sensation, it also creates reaction in me. So why it is happening? Because my sanskar is based on assumption. So if it is based on assumption, I will try to continue some sensation. I will try to avoid. I will try to run away from some sensations. Both are reactions. So I start reacting. I feel comfortable within a group of few people. I don't feel comfortable within a group of few people. It is happening because my sanskars are based on assumption. So I try to avoid someone in my life. I try to be attached with someone in my life, and all it this creates a reaction in me, and this reaction becomes source of my unhappiness. If my sanskars are based on understanding, then I continue to remain in harmony. I rightly evaluate my sensation of body. I rightly evaluate the inputs of the world outside. So, if my sanskars are based on understanding, I continue to remain in harmony. With right understanding, my feeling remains natural in accordance with human nature. I continue to be in a state of happiness. So I use external input to rightly evaluate the external situation. So I respond. So with sanskars based on right understanding, I respond. I rightly evaluate. I see the things as it is. So now outside world or body is not source of my happiness or unhappiness with right evaluation. Now with right understanding, I can decide to be in a state of pure observer. And in that state, I feel fulfilled because I am in coexistence in space. So my happiness and happiness is not outside. Now I am able to see if my sanskars are based on assumption, it becomes source of unhappiness. If my sanskars are aligned with relationship, harmony and coexistence, it ensures happiness in me in continuity. Now I become responsible for my state of being with right evaluation of sensation and world outside. With this, I can see that I am in coexistence in space. The body is in coexistence in space. So I is a consciousness unit in a space. The body is a material unit that is also coexisting in space. And I have accepted coexistence with body, being submerged, being coexistence in space. So I am transacting with body in space. I am reading sensation in body, being in space. So now my being is in space. So with this exercise 1 and 2, and with practice of these steps, I can ensure continuity of happiness in myself. With this, I can rightly evaluate sensation. With this, I can rightly evaluate the inputs from the world outside. So I become happy. I can ensure my happiness now at every moment. Because now I am aware that I coexist in space forever. It doesn't matter whether I am with body or not. I can realize my existence as coexistence in space. So once it is clear to me, I become free of fear, fear of losing body, fear of getting or losing happiness from outside. Now I can live absolutely in absolute manner. Right. Now I can evaluate this body is not source of my happiness. This world outside is not source of my happiness. And in fact, my happiness does not depend on any one of this. So when I want to interact, then I use this body and I participate in the world outside. If I don't want to interact it, I can be happy all the time because I coexist in space and it is definite, it is continuous. So with this, I can understand role of body, I can understand role of sensation, I can understand my participation in the world outside, and I can understand that my fulfilling life can be ensured in continuity, in coexistence of space. So this is what we are discussing in exercise 1 and 2. So in exercise 1, we practiced observing self by the self. In exercise 2, we practiced observing body by the self. And, and through body, I am interacting outside. So with this awareness, now I am aware that whatever is my state of being is my decision. With this awareness, I can live a fulfilling life with absoluteness, not relatively. If I am not aware of this choice, then my happiness becomes relative. So my happiness becomes dependent on some people, on this body, some sensation, etc. But once I am aware of my state of being, once I am aware of this state of pure observer, once I am aware of my being in coexistence of space, then I live with absoluteness. Now I am aware that my happiness is not dependent on the world outside, not dependent on this body. My happiness can be ensured by realizing coexistence with the space in continuity. Right. So with this, now I can interact in family. When I am interacting with family, feeling of trust, respect, affection, it becomes natural for me because these feelings are naturally acceptable to me. Now there is no doubt which feeling is naturally acceptable to me because all these things I have ensured in step 1. So now with this understanding, when I interact with other person, other family members, I start with feeling of trust. I start with feeling of respect, irrespective of others' behavior. Now with this, when I interact in society, I try to ensure my participation in society. So I try to make effort to ensure right understanding in every individual, prosperity in every family, fearlessness in society, coexistence in nature. Now my goals are definite. So whenever I interact with nature, I will try to ensure coexistence with nature. Whenever I am interacting with society, I will start at least with feeling of trust because now my trust is ensured with my understanding. It is not dependent on behavior of others. So I will start with feeling of trust. Right? It will ensure fearlessness in society. So with this state of being, My behavior and work will ensure mutual happiness and mutual prosperity. With this understanding, my interaction will ensure justice with everyone. And with this understanding, I will be participating in larger order. G. So this is what we are discussing in exercise 1 and 2. And the objective is to live a fulfilling life every moment, this moment, next moment, every moment, and to live a fulfilling life with everyone. So this is what we discussed in step 1 and in exercise 1 and 2. Right. So we may take 2 reflections if anyone has. So we have Balji Reddy Bhaiya. Namaste Bhaiya.
Namaskar Gopalji, Namaskar to all. Bhaiya, we have been trying to explore ourselves and we are very much thankful to you and the whole family. Sir, could you please focus some more light on understanding the harmony in the society?
Yes. Yes. So if you see, my individual goal is to live a fulfilling life every moment. Right. And that can be ensured through this exercise 1 and 2. With this fulfilling life, with this absoluteness, now my desire is to ensure harmony at the level of family, to ensure harmony at the level of society. So at the level of family, my goal would be to ensure prosperity, to ensure justice with everyone. And if you see at the level of society, so we need to identify goals at the level of society. So for example, individual goal is to live a fulfilling life. Now what would be society goal? If I want to ensure harmony in society, what would be the goal? We need to identify first. So what would be the goals of society? So right understanding in everyone. This would be first goal. So now with this exercise 1 and 2, I am stable inside and I am unaffected by the behavior outside. Now I will try to ensure, I will try to make system, I will try to make policy, and I will try to ensure my participation with this so that this right understanding can be ensured with everyone, in everyone. Similarly, at the level of society, if harmony is required, then every family should be prosperous. If families are not prosperous, they will fight with each other for resources. So next goal becomes prosperity in family. Right? Then next goal becomes feeling of trust, fearlessness in society. And with this, I am also coexisting in nature. So to ensure harmony in nature, I need to ensure coexistence with nature. So with fulfilling life inside, now I will participate in these goals to ensure harmony in society. So for example, with this education system, we are all working on education system. So with this education system, we are all we all are participating for right understanding. So we are participating for fulfilling life for ourselves. We are participating, ensuring right understanding for others also through this education system. है ना? So through this content, we all are participating to ensure harmony in society. But first we need to identify goals. So goals are ensuring right understanding in every individual, prosperity in family, fearlessness in society, and coexistence in nature. Now we need to work together to ensure this harmony in society. Is it right, Bhaiya?
Okay, Bhaiya. So to achieve that goal, how these five basic systems of human society play a role? Just briefly, could you please how education samskar leads to that? How health self-regulation leads to that? Just briefly, how production work, justice preservation, and how exchange storage will lead. That's what I want really. I'm very sorry to take this time. Could you please explain briefly, Bhaiya? Just 5 points.
Yes. So to ensure these four goals, we need to work on 5 dimensions. And these 5 dimensions are: first is education sanskar. So if you see education and sanskar, so if you see this exercise 1, through this we are purifying our sanskar. So exercise 1 is helping us to align our sanskar with relationship, harmony, and coexistence. So this is what we are doing through exercise 1. For individual, we can do this exercise, but if we want to ensure this right understanding in everyone, so we need to introduce in education system. So with this curriculum of UHP 1, 2, 3, 4, we are helping others also for their sanskar. Right. So with education sanskar, we can ensure right understanding in every individual, because right understanding is a matter of education sanskar. So right understanding can be ensured through right education and sanskar. So for education, we need to decide content. So for example, this UHV courses, it helps people to ensure right sanskar. So with just a minute. So with this sanskar, with this exercise, we can purify. So with this exercise, we can purify our individual sanskar. And if we put all these courses in education system, it will ensure right understanding in every individual. So this kind of education sanskar help us to understand, to ensure right understanding in every individual. Right. Similarly, health and Sanyam. So once I have right understanding, yes. So once I have right understanding, then I can see body as an instrument. So if I see body as an instrument, so I become responsible for nurturing, protection, and right utilization of body. So with feeling of Sanyam, self-regulation, I can ensure health in the body. So when I work for health in the body, it ensures prosperity in the family because now I am clear of need of the body, need of the self. So it ensures prosperity in family. And with feeling of Sanyam, it also ensures coexistence with nature. Then production and work. So once I am clear about my happiness, then I become clear what to produce, how much to produce. है ना? Then I start working with nature. So the labor that I invest with nature is a work. And with work, whatever is obtained, that is production. So with right understanding, right sanskar, with healthy body, now I can ensure shram, labor with the rest of nature, and production will happen. And I will rightly utilize this production because I have right understanding with education sanskar. And with this production and work, you know, with the feeling of justice, I can distribute this produced, to everyone. So it ensures suraksha also, protection also. So with justice, I can ensure fearlessness in society. And with rest of nature, if I am able to see relationship with rest of nature, it ensures preservation of nature, suraksha of nature. And with this feeling of justice, I exchange whatever I have more than required. So when I exchange, it ensures fearlessness in society because now people are assured that things are available, resources are available for them also. So with feeling of justice, I try to exchange whatever I have more than my need, and I store also so that it can be used in emergency, so that it can be used whenever required. So through these 5 dimensions, we can ensure harmony in society. So this is brief description from my side, Bhaiya. Is it okay?
Okay, Bhaiya. Thank you very much, Bhaiya, for your brief description within this short span of time. Thank you very much, Bhaiya. Namaskar.
Yes, Namaste, Bhaiya. So we have Prashant Bhaiya with us. Namaste, Bhaiya.
जी जी नमस्ते सभी को भैया
जी.
really it's a nice discussion every morning and as we are ending so from this today's 45 minutes around discussion what I understood if I am happy at this moment I am repeating if I am happy at this moment I can be continued with this happiness or I can be happy for next moment and next moment that's it so but while doing this, still there are some deep rooted samskars that I have to take care. I can see that they are raising their heads up. But with this right understanding and rightly told by you, with the right education, of course, of the education to the all human being, what we are trying. So slowly there will be increase, and whatever the time was taken earlier without these values, now it is being reduced. If earlier it would have been 25 or 50 years, something like that, or 100 years, now it is becoming to I can say for me, it will take around 15 to 20 years at the most. And that is there in my hand. So I can be happy all the moments. Ji, bhaiya. Thank you. Ji. I hope it is useful for we all. Thank you.
Yes, Bhaiya, right.
Ji.
So through education sanskar,
Yeah.
this time can be reduced.
Time can be reduced. Yeah. Earlier, it takes so much time, even whole life, 100 years. But now I can see that during this, at least 2, 3 years I have started and again 10 to 15 years. So I will be in the for all the time I can be in happiness. Next moments. Ji, thank you.
Yes.
That moment.
So this exercise one can ensure definiteness in human being, through working on sanskar.
Ji,
And these collective sanskars will turn into culture, humane culture. where people will be living with a fulfilling life with justice. And in this culture, human education will be available, and that will help the next generation to ensure right understanding in themselves. With
Yeah.
this culture, there will be a constitution where a humane policy will be introduced, and that
Exactly.
policy, those policies will enrich self and body, will
Mhm.
protect self and body,
Ji.
will right utilize the self and body. And with this, a civilization can be created, which
Yeah.
we can say humane civilization.
Yeah.
So, humane civilization means a civilization where people have opportunity to live with a fulfilling life.
Ji.
So, this is what we are envisioning through UHV courses.
Ji. Ji. That is our basic aim. We can. Thank you.
Right, भैया.
Ji. Namaste sabhi ko.
Okay, namaste भैया. So it's 6:15. So let's take 10-minute pause for observation. Then I will come back to Virendra Kumar ji. So let's take 10-minute pause, 10-minute observation. So we have R.K. Mohanty ji with us. Namaste भैया.
Namaskar.
जी.
Today is the 82nd day. We are with you.
हम्म.
It's an opportunity. But only a very small clarification. Sanskar, natural acceptance, harmony. In right understanding is okay. But in assumptions, what will I do?
If we have assumptions, so we need to verify those assumptions,
Uh,
whether these are based on reality or not.
Based on?
Reality, understanding or not.
Oh. That is a difficult part. And
Not.
another is, ah,
Mhm.
okay. So to find out the reality is also a challenge, Bhaiya.
Yes. So if you are making effort outside, then it may be a challenge.
Ah,
But if
ah,
you are making effort inside,
ah,
and then it is not a big challenge. It will take time, but not a
ah.
big challenge. So, for example, human being is a coexistence of self and body. This self is a reality, body is a reality, and you can see both this reality by observation. You observe yourself, you can see that you exist. You observe body, then you can see that body also exists. Is it right, Bhaiya?
Yes, 100% right. But it is a difficult part for me to find out the reality in assumptions. Sometimes they remain just like the clouds. So we should not go out. We should be within. That you are right. And your suggestion is 100% right. And another component, cell body in coexistence, again in space.
Hmm.
slight 1-2 components just add.
So भैया, we can unfold reality one by one. So if I am aware of myself, if I am able to see myself as a consciousness unit, then next step would be where I am. So with awareness, you can see I am in space. I am in coexistence of space. So step by step, if we move, then we will be able to unfold the reality. If we are trying to see whole existence at once without being aware of myself, then it may appear as a challenge. So for example, you are attending this morning session for 82 days. For others, it may appear as a challenge. How are you attending from 82 days? So step by step, if we move, then it will give sense of reality. So space is very subtle reality. So we should move from body, we should shift from physical facility to body, then body to self, then in self from thoughts to feeling, then feeling to sanskar, then sanskar to pure observer, then at the state of pure observer, I can see this reality. So step by step, we need to shift. Right, Bhaiya?
Right. But I feel it to be very difficult.
No problem. It is difficult, but not impossible.
Not impossible, but difficult.
Right. Yes.
We got this, that means 82
Yeah,
days, and we
I'm
learned a
sorry to
lot.
interrupt, Kemadhi. Hello.
Ah,
Yeah,
ah,
namaste.
namaskar.
Yes,
Yeah,
Murthy Bhaiya.
actually, we are now into the time of Hindi session. So, yeah, Gopal Bhaiya.
Okay.
Any
जी
last
भैया.
point?
Yes, भैया.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone. We will continue these sessions again. So now I request Tara Prasanna Bhaiya to start in this session.